So hello students, today we are going to start our third chapter of class 7, that is decimals. Okay, so today in this video we are going to learn about the introduction of decimals. Okay, so what are decimals? Okay, so the numbers which are expressed, okay, so the numbers which are expressed in decimal forms are called decimal numbers. Okay, now for example, if we have a number 54.67, okay, now this number is expressed in terms of decimal form, that is a point is present in between, so such a number is known as decimal number. Okay, now in this decimal number, the given number is divided into two parts by this decimal point. This point is known as decimal point. Now this decimal point divides this number into two parts. I am just highlighting it, the green part to the left of decimal and the red part to the right of decimal. Okay, so the one which is to the left of decimal is known as whole part. Okay, this part is known as whole part, and the one which is to the right of decimal, okay, is known as decimal part. So here we have seen up till now what are decimal numbers. So the decimal numbers are what? The numbers which are expressed in decimal form, that is a point is present in the number, that is a decimal. This one is known as decimal point. Okay, let me indicate this one also. This is known as decimal point. Okay, so now a number which is expressed in decimal form is known as a decimal number. Now this decimal number, because of this decimal point, is divided into two parts. One is on the left of decimal, the other one is on the right of decimal. The one which is to the left of decimal is known as whole part, and the one which is to the right of decimal is known as decimal part. Okay, now let us move to the next part of this chapter, that is decimal places. Okay, now what are decimal places? Okay, before that let us consider one more example. Now here, suppose if we have an example 2.38. okay, so in this example, now suppose if you are asked to find the decimal part, so the decimal part is 38, that is 38, and the whole part is 2. Okay, so in this way you must be able to find the decimal part and the whole part. Okay, now next one is decimal places. Okay, now what are decimal places? So the decimal places are nothing but the number of digits present to the right of decimal. Okay, for example, if we have a number 413.2987, now if you look at to the right of this decimal, okay, how many digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So since there are 4 digits to the right of decimal, so we will say that the decimal place is how much? Or we can say in this way, decimal place is 4. Okay, let us consider another example. Now suppose if you have a number 2.59, so to the right of decimal, how many digits are there? So there are only 2 digits, so we will say that the decimal place is how much? How much? So there are 2 digits, so we will write here 2. Let us write this one also in terms of spelling. Okay, so is it clear? So now I think it must be clear to you that what are decimal places. Now our next topic is like decimals and unlike decimals. Okay, now let us consider a number, for example 2.59. okay, then 3.72, 8.96. Okay, now if you look at these all numbers, how many digits are there to the right of the decimal? So there are two digits to the right of decimal. Okay, so in other words we can say that the decimal place of this number is 2, this number is again 2, and this number is also 2. Since they all are having same decimal places, so we say that they are like decimals. So what are like decimals? So the numbers having same decimal places are known as like decimals. Now let us see another one, that is unlike decimals. So now what will be unlike decimals? Unlike decimals are the decimals which having different decimal places. For example, 2.578, 3.1245, then 7.235798. Okay, now if you look at these all numbers, the decimal place of this number is 3. For this number the decimal place is 4. For this number the decimal place is 6. Okay, so since these all numbers are having different decimal places, so we say that they all are unlike decimals. Okay, so the likeness or the unlikeness of decimals depends on what? It depends on the decimal places. Okay, so now let us see our next topic, that is how to convert unlike decimal into decimal. Now suppose we have two decimal number. First one is 47.198. Okay, and the another number is 23.567,892. Okay, now if you look at these both the numbers, it can be seen that here after decimal there are 3 digits, so the decimal place is how much? 3. Here after decimal there are 6 digits, so the decimal place is 6. Okay, so I am writing here decimal place 3, here decimal place 6. Okay, now so these both are what? Now these both are unlike decimals. Okay, now if you want to make this unlike decimals like, then what you have to do? You have to make their decimal places same. Okay, so now how to make it same? So look at the one which is having more decimal place. So this one is having more decimal place. Okay, so what we will do now, the one which is with a smaller or lower decimal place, we will make it with the same decimal place as the greater one. So here there are 6 decimal place, so we will convert this number also with 6 decimal place. So how to make it? So it can be written as 47.198. now to make 6, how many digits we have to add? 3 digits, so that 3 digits will be 3 zeros. So now 1 2 3. Now if you look at the decimal place of this number, how many are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so now what are the decimal places over here? Here also it is 6. So now this number and this number, they are like decimals. Okay, so here what we have done, we have converted unlike decimals into like decimals. For conversion of unlike decimal into like, what we are doing? We are checking that which number is having more decimal place, accordingly we are adding zeros in the smaller one. Okay, now next topic. Okay, now next topic is writing the expanded form of a decimal. Okay, we have learned in the previous classes how to write the expanded form of a number. Okay, now in decimal numbers we know that this decimal divide the given number into two parts. Okay, the right part, okay, it is known as the decimal part, and the left part is known as the whole part. Okay, now in whole part we know that the numbers are, the place values are ones, tens, hundreds and so on. Okay, but in decimal, to the right of decimal, now the place value of the number will become 1/10, 100 and 1000. So how to write this number? Let us consider one example over here. Okay, suppose if we have a number 3 point, okay, let me write here one more, 93.578. okay, so now here it is decimal, so decimal will come over here. Okay, now to the left of decimal, first digit is 3, so we will write here 3. Then the next digit is 9, so we will write here 9. Okay, so now to the right of decimal, first digit is 5, so that 5 we will write here. The next digit is 7 and next one is 8. Okay, so now what is the place value of this number 8? It is, we will say that its place is 1000. 7 is 100, place value of 5 is 1/10. Then now place value of 3 is ones, place value of 9 is tens. Okay, now here we have to learn about the place value. Now how to write this number in expanded form? Okay, so very easy. So now already we have learned how to write the numbers in expanded form. So place value of 9 is tens. Okay, so it will become, you can write in this way, 90 plus. Okay, then place value of these 3 is ones, so we can just write here 3 plus. Now what is the place value of this 5? So it is 1/10, so it should be written in this way, 5/10 plus place value of 7 is 100, so it can be written as 7/100 plus place value of this 8 is 1000, so 8/1000. Okay, let us consider one more example. Suppose if we have a number 128.72958. okay, let me change the last digit, 72953. now we have to write this number in expanded form. So what we will do, equals to, now decide the place value of each of the digits. So place value of 8 is ones, tens, hundreds, thousand. So here 1 is written, so what we will write here, it can be written as 1000 plus place value of this 2 is 100, so it can be written as 200. Place value of this 6 is tens, so that can be written as 60. Place value of this 8 is ones, so simply 8 plus. Now let us write the place value of this number. So very first digit after decimal, its place value is 1/10, so it can be written as 7/10. The next one 2/100, the next one 9/1000, the next one 5/10,000 plus 3/5. Okay, that is 1 lakh. Okay, so in this way you have to write the numbers, decimal numbers, in expanded form. Okay, so this much is enough for today. Thank you, have a nice